In this video, we're going to be talking about, oh god, why does my character look so cursed? We're going to be talking about T3 engravings for Gunlancer. So before we get into the video, I just want to say that this will work for both blue and red Gunlancers, and the reason for this is because this is not a cookie cutter build. This is more of a method of how I go about getting my T3 engravings. Okie dokie! So there's two build paths you can go. The first is the expensive min-max build, where you prioritize the best engravings that you possibly can without caring about the price. Or the second path, which is the Church of CHEEPO PEEPO. In this video, I'm gonna bring you into the enlightenment of PEEPO CHEEPO because with the way the game is going right now, the only thing that's gonna stay consistent is your engraving slots. Your ability stone and your accessories are gonna change wildly. So I think the only thing that's a long-term investment is gonna be the engraving books. That's the most important. For the accessories and the ability stone, we're going to be trying to get as much as we can for as little as possible because it's going to change so much. So this is going to be quite obvious, but you want to have your class engraving prioritized before anything else. I don't want to see any of you running around without a class identity. We do not condone that fatherless behavior in this community. Outside of your main class engraving, the rule to follow is stats over engravings. Don't be that guy that has level 3 curse doll and level 3 grudge, but his endurance and domination. That is just ugh. I personally put my class engraving in the first engraving slot. For red Gunlancer, this is fine, but for blue Gunlancers, you're probably looking at me like
you stupid.
Well, hear me out here. Class engraving accessories and ability stones are incredibly expensive right now. Anything with combat readiness or lone knight on it goes for a premium on the market. When PEEPO CHEEPO compares the accessory prices of barricade and supercharge compared to the class engravings, the price difference is huge. Okay, for the second engraving slot, you want to go the main combat engraving that you need. For blue boys, that's barricade, and for red boys, that is supercharge. The most important thing here is you want to make sure that you get your engraving book level for these to purple. That way you don't have to cover as much from your ability stone or your accessories. Now, this is where it's gonna get complicated, so you better put your hands together and trust in the CHEEPO PEEPO process. What we need to do now is match up our ability stone and our accessories with what engravings we actually want on our class. The reason this is so complicated is because this is RNG or market dependent. Depending on what time of day you look at the market, different accessories are gonna be up for different prices with different engravings, and also we're all gonna be getting different accessory drops. This is where mixing and matching is gonna come in handy, because in the PEEPO CHEEPO life, one saying that's always true is we take what we can get. But don't you worry, in order to help us grab that bag, I have a spreadsheet here that'll help us decide exactly what engravings we need for red and blue Gunlancer. So the way I approached this was I first went with the ability stone. Ability stones don't have class engravings, so you want to go your most preferred combat engraving first, aka barricade or supercharge. From there, you want to use the filters in the marketplace to find an additional engraving that you're going to be building. So for example, because I'm a blue Gunlancer, the first engraving I picked was barricade. The second engraving, I looked through all the engravings on the spreadsheet and picked cursed doll, because at the time that's what was on the market. So in your situation, it might be different. So you got to look at the spreadsheet and kind of determine what is on the market and what you can actually go for. Also, what's affordable, because there are grudge cursed doll stones on the market, but they're also 1,500 gold a piece. And there's a chance that 1,500 gold goes poof if you get bad rolls on that stone. All right, so now that you've got your ability stone and your engraving slots filled, I want you to take a look at your engraving tab without your accessories. This is the base you're going to be building off in order to buy your accessories. But before you do anything, remember to prioritize your stats first. So looking at these engraving slots, we want to take our accessory engravings and fill in as many levels as we can, with the exception of combat readiness. That should stay at level 1. So the filter tool is going to be your best friend here. Our best bang for our buck here is looking for accessories that have both engraving slots with what we're looking for. So for me, I'm looking for barricade and curse doll accessories first. Once you've completely leveled 3, the first engraving, then you can start branching out into other engravings as well. So continuing on with this example, once I've completely completed barricade, then I can branch out to curse doll stabilized status. Also, really important to make sure you're not being jebaited by debuff engravings. By this I mean some engravings will actually hurt you a lot, like the attack speed, attack power, or defense down. Some of the debuffs are minimal, like the movement speed is only 2% at level 1. I'm a blue Gunlancer, I already move slow, like it's not gonna slow me down anymore. It's basically gonna be a puzzle of how much you can complete for what price. The spreadsheet is going to help out so much because it'll show you exactly what engravings are helpful and what you can go. Obviously, there's a min-max level of engravings that are better than others, but because we are part of the CHEEPO PEEPO people, we will not be focusing on the min-max. We are just focusing on completing the puzzle and doing as much damage as we can for a lower price. It's important to mention that as we get further and further into the game, it'll be easier and easier to complete these engravings because we'll have better accessories, better ability stones, and we'll be able to complete our yellow engraving books, which, by the way, this is like the only thing I would slowly start working towards because this is the only thing that'll stay consistent is your engraving slots. So make sure that you slowly start working on those yellow books. It'll pay off so much in the future. That's all I got. Leave a like. Peace.